So I don't like this slide, but I always mention it. Be very careful with what you call an activity, right? It's not a checklist. It's not a checklist. It's not the definition of done, which if anybody's a pilot, here's a checklist, right? And pilots love checklists. The other one is value-based key results, right? Is delivery of value. So measure the completion of the deliverable as, hey, we got a net promoter score of 42. Deliver of value is we deliver the MGUK to our teams that are customers to our engine. It's the success of an output creating the outcome, connecting the output to the outcome. Okay, so we would have an exercise here. So let's see, who wants to ask questions?
So I've got a question. Thank you so much for this presentation.
You're
Like
welcome.
Shane mentioned about the objectives being confined, and I 100% agree with you. Everything should be in the backlog and product backlog. At work today, I had a discussion on this Epic thing, and everybody went, just crazy on what is a good way to write Epic, so they get confused right there. So everything should be. So OKR is confusing me a little bit because if the Scrum Guide is suggesting that all the objectives should be confined to the team and the sprint goal setting up, then where is OKR? OKR is one layer up or two layers up, or the teams define the OKRs.
Well,
I'm just getting
I
lost
think
a little bit on.
no,
Yeah.
it's a great question actually. One thing we don't remember about the sprint, the Scrum Guide is the Scrum Guide is a single team guide, right? For multiple teams, there is, if you're going to go Jeff Sutherland route or my route, there's the Scrum at Scale guide, right? So the Scrum Guide is only targeting one team. Now, even with a single team, you can have sprint goals, but you can have, for instance, release goals, or you can have quarterly goals that fulfill that product vision, that product goal that you have. Now, when you have multiple teams in a group, right, you have OKRs, and we're going to see this in a little bit, that have to horizontally align. All the teams have to be synchronized on that OKR.
Yeah,
So,
that I agree. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's 100% agree with that. But the confusion is starting where our one team goal does not align with the other team goal, and if it does align, it falls on who takes care of the goal. So when it goes to program level, which obviously other frameworks have, introduced the program portfolio level and all that stuff.
mhm.
So when it comes to OKR, now there are multiple teams involved, and every team is setting up a goal. We should be aligned on the goal, but then the finger pointing or the who takes care of the goal starts. If one team misses the goal target,
Mhm.
then the blame falls on them. So that's why I'm
I don't like the word blame. The
yeah,
person
I
who,
don't either, but
yeah,
that will happen. The
yeah,
reality is,
unfortunately that's true. But the person who should set up the one level above OKR, right? If you want to use um, that framework language program, right? It's
hmm
a group of teams. In the end, it's a group of teams. That's why I use the word group of teams because it's neutral to all frameworks, right? Scrum at Scale calls it the Scrum of Scrums, which means there's a Scrum of Scrum teams, right? I prefer to use the word group. So we get framework neutral right there. But what happens is when you think about developing stuff in that scenario, you have a chief product owner who creates a backlog, right? That chief product owner creates that backlog, and the product owners from each team go there and grab a piece of that backlog and take to their teams. So the chief product owner is gonna write with their product owners, their team, their PO team, the OKR for that sprint for the whole group, which you may call a program. Then each product owner will go to their teams and write an OKR for that sprint that aligns vertically with the program OKR and horizontally with the other teams.
Okay, got it. So chief product owner bakes the pie and everybody gets a slice of it.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, good.